Rhetorical Quest.
Hello, everybody. I am going to tell you today how to set up your camera for my public speaking class. Now, normally, when you'd set up a camera for something you're going to record, you'd want something a lot like this, where you've got a chosen background, you've got good lighting on yourself, you've got mostly your head and shoulders. That's mainly what you'd want in a video for like a podcast or something like that. But that is not what we want for our public speaking class. I need videos where I can see your audience, see that you're making eye contact with your audience, and know what's going on. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So I used the stuff I used to make my maps for Dungeons and Dragons to kind of show you what we could do to set up a camera. So what I want you to imagine is you're the drider up here, and you're the drider up at the top, and behind you is the TV that you use for your presentations. Now, for your first presentation, your show and tell speech, you don't need any kind of presentation software, but for the others you do. And so you would want that behind you. You have your dad on one side and your mom on the other, your friend and her two kids on the couch. And then you could set up the camera where I'm showing you here, kind of where I am, and just set the camera so that I can see you and I can see your audience, so that I can see that you are interacting and looking at and moving among your audience. You could also set it up over here as long as I can see you and see your audience. You could set it up down here, and then I'd kind of see the back of your dad's head, and but I could see your audience and see you, and as long as it's positioned so I can see your audience and see you, that's fine. And even if it is the back of their heads, like if you set it down here behind the couch, I would probably only be able to see the back of three of the people's heads, but I would still be able to tell that you are making eye contact with audience members, because I'd be able to see where your eyes are and see where the audience members' eyes would be. If we're teaching this in a face-to-face classroom, I usually sit at the back, and so I'm seeing the back of the heads of most of your audience there. It's perfectly fine. Some people prefer to present at their kitchen tables. I think that's perfectly fine. They'll set their laptop right up at the front. Then they stand behind their laptop and give their presentation. And then they have their friends and family or whoever it is that they've gotten to watch their presentation to sit around the table and listen to them as they stand and give their presentation. This is a perfectly fine way to do it, as long as the camera is set up in such a way that I can see you and see your audience. I want to be able to see you and see your audience so that I can see that you're making eye contact with your audience, that you are focusing on your audience, not focusing on what you're reading, not focusing on note cards. That's really what I want to see. Once again, I want to emphasize that this is not the best way normally to shoot videos of you presenting. Um, we have another class, media writing, that we also teach in the communication program here at WNMU. And in that class, they show you how to do things for the screen. But we're not doing this for the screen. This is a public speaking class, and I need to see how you interact in front of a live audience. That is what is necessary for this class. So hopefully this helps. Hopefully it clears up some things that I know have been confusing in some other semesters, and we're able to make this work. Thank you